Hello Croiso, and welcome back to the Cymru Nerd Cave. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing well. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today because of course we've been playing a bit of video games recently. We have had the international break from the football, but that'll be back with the Central League, etc. and so on. And like I say, I think I've got a few games I want to be playing in the meantime as well, just to fill things out a little bit and do something a bit different. But today, like I say, something very different because I got something in the post yesterday, or the day before, was it? I forget which. Yesterday it was. And it's big and it's heavy and it's going to take a little while to build. So, ooh, what can it be? Well, it can be, oh my word, this is so heavy. You can see that it's Lego already, but it's Lego ECTO-1. Oh, I can barely get it over here. Look at that. Look how nice that is. Oh my word. Lovely, lovely stuff. So yeah, I've got this is the one that's basically the ECTO-1 from Afterlife, and it's so big and it's so heavy, and it's something like, let's have a look, 2,352 pieces. So yeah, we're going to spend a little bit of time building this, not all in one go, obviously. I think that's going to be too much to ask, but we shall be having a look at this now. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's open it up and see what we've got. So here we have it, the Ghostbusters ECTO-1 box, looking all very sparkly and spangly and very, very nice, showing a massive picture of the ECTO-1 as it will be finished. You will notice some places have little rust stickers, more on that in a bit. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely the 1984 ECTO-1, looking like it does supposedly in Ghostbusters Afterlife, but we can also see a very, very nice Ghostbusters logo there with ECTO-1 and the actual vehicle there, Lego itself. Let's put that back a bit, so Lego there. So 18 plus it does say, it does specify that, and it also specifies 2,352 pieces. Yeah, it's a big one. Side of the box there, just a nice picture of ECTO-1. On the back, I'm not putting this on, by the way, it really is that heavy. There you go. So you see ECTO-1 in the back, looking really resplendent and really, really nice and accurate and lovely and shiny and stuff, brilliant stuff. Couple of features you've got there, so you've got the gunner seat that will come out, you've got the trap that will come out the bottom, and then a couple of pictures from the film, really, really nice. And that's pretty much your lot, really. It doesn't give any spoilers away. Oh, you do get a nice blueprint down the bottom as well, sort of Raymond Stantz style. But yeah, that's the box, really. There's nothing else to say. There's some technical stuff on the back. I half opened the box already, so it just popped open. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get all the stuff out. I shall be back in a minute. See you in a couple. Okay, so this is the huge pile of Lego you get. It's a few more bags than I was expecting, I ain't gonna lie. But that's good. The other thing that did happen is that in the box, one of the bags had split. Bag number 1 had split and a little bit of Lego had leaked out into the main bit, but I think I've got it all and it's not really a problem. The other thing is that we've got this massive thing, which I think is the instructions. So let's open her up. So yeah, there you go. There's a full sticker sheet of stickers that you will need. A lot of these brown ones, they're rust, supposedly, on the Ghostbusters Afterlife ECTO-1. I'll be honest with you, I'm not putting them on. You get the choice not to, and you know, it's fine either way. If you choose to do that and you want it to be representative of your Ghostbusters Afterlife one, marvellous stuff. I ain't doing that. So there you go. I will have it as the pristine 1984 version. Great stuff. And you get this massive ECTO-1 instruction set. Very reminiscent, in fact directly copied, homaged of the Haynes manual type stuff. You can tell because it's got the cutaways and things like that, and it's the same font. And it's really good. It gives you all the instructions you're going to need as these things always do, and you saw me flick through it at the start, but you also get a little bit of information on Ghostbusters Afterlife, a little bit of bumf, which I will read through as well before I start doing it. But yeah, it's really, really nice stuff. A little bit of the history, nice photograph there of Ray, which is mirrored in the trailer, I noticed. Finn Wolfhard does the same thing. But anyway, that's all that. I now have to sort through all these bags of Lego. Get rid of that. All these bags of Lego, basically get to number 1, and then we can start building some stuff. So give me a second, I'll be back. So here we are, we have Lego. We have my orange thing, whatever that is called, I don't know what that's called. And we have a book, which I'm not sure you can see, but I can see. So let's get on this, shall we? Let's start building some Lego, and while we're doing it, let's have a bit of a chat. Why not, while we're building? So, Ghostbusters then. That's a thing again, isn't it? Obviously, you had the 84 movies, and we'll talk about how I came to love that very, very soon. And then we had Ghostbusters 2, which for some reason is much maligned. Don't know why. And then we had nothing, basically. We had, well, we did. I mean, that's not strictly true. I've got that wrong already. Well done. Keep your eyes on the game, Glenn. Yeah, so we had next to nothing for quite a long time. We had, like, Extreme Ghostbusters, didn't we? And that was okay. I liked Extreme Ghostbusters. And a few other things, and very weirdly, Dan Aykroyd's cameo in the Casper movie. Everybody remember that? That was a bit odd, wasn't it? Well, he was Ray Stantz, apparently. That is. I don't know whether it's canonical. I don't think it's canonical, but it was certainly played as canonical. There you go. Oh, that's what we got now. 2 of those, 1 of those. So yeah, it's a franchise that has always had loads and loads of potential and loads of fans, and for some reason has never really traded in on the potential. For some reason, I don't know why. It's got franchises all around the world of Ghostbusters cosplayers, lots and lots of those, like hundreds of them. And yeah, like I say, lots and lots of fans around the world that want things to happen with Ghostbusters. And then we got, in 2014, I think, were the first rumblings of the Ghostbusters film that would become Ghostbusters 2016, I think they call it, or Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And yeah, fans were not happy. Look, I can understand the fact that they changed a lot of things. Yeah, it wasn't handled well. The PR on it wasn't great, for whatever reason. And I don't know why. Paul Feig, for some reason, decided that he wanted to shout at people rather than encourage them to go see the film. Oops. And I can understand that. There were some, quite nasty people, shall we say, who were being very derogatory towards the cast and the genders of the cast, although they would have you believe that's not the reason why we didn't like it. Of course, I mean, they're going to say that. And that's not to be controversial, it really isn't. It's just how it was, and even if they didn't mean to make people feel that way, that's how they made them feel. So, deal with that, I guess. The tragedy of it is, it wasn't a bad film at all. 2016, Answer the Call, whatever they want to call it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good, fun film. Do I think it was a good Ghostbusters film? No, I do not. I don't. And I don't think it was because of the director and some of the cast members who maybe felt that, I don't know, that bit's done, by the way, there you go, maybe they just felt that it could coast by on what it was rather than put any actual content in it, because it was a mess at the end of the day. It was not tight. It wasn't tightly directed. It wasn't tightly scripted. It was coasting by on ad libbing, because that's the background that Paul Feig has. Like things like The Office and previous films that he'd done, like sometimes it works. I think it works with a film like Spy, for instance, because if you go back and watch a lot of the bloopers or the outtakes or the process that they did, he would often suggest lines on the fly. Now, I'm not sure if that always happens in films, but it certainly did on that one, and it worked because, I don't know, the actors were receptive to it. It worked for that because nobody was expecting anything out of it as such. But yeah, it didn't work for Ghostbusters 2016, I don't think. It just seemed a bit all over the place in some instances. And I definitely don't think that any of the former cast members should have been in it at all. Because the only cameo that worked for me was Ernie Hudson's. Zedmos. I think that really works when as he was Patty's uncle, he was just being himself. He wasn't putting on an act or a silly character or anything like that. There you go. That bit, whatever that is. And then this. Let's have a look. How does that go? Like so. Oh, I see. Like that, I guess. Oh, I see. Oh, two along. So there. That goes there, like so. So we have this thing here. There you go. Cool. Well, that's one side. So yeah, his coming out was the only one that worked. Everybody else was putting on a stupid actor, a voice, or it just didn't work. We did, however, get Kate McKinnon out of it. So you know, I did find out who she was because of that film. So I'm very happy about that. Well, like I say, then we heard nothing that we were going to get a sequel. They set it up for a sequel with Zool right at the end there. And then we got told it's probably not going to continue in that form. We're probably going to get an animated movie. At some point, Ghost Core's going to do an animated movie. I think that was the plan. And then we are out of pretty much nowhere. We got, yeah, there's going to be another film. We're going to do a film with the old cast in it. And yeah, that's what we're getting apparently. I mean, that's definitely what we're getting. Let's have a look. Where does this one go? Like so, I guess. There we are. So now we have this thing. I'm guessing we're building up the bottom of the ECTO-1, not the chassis, is it? Is that the chassis? I don't know anything about cars, I will just say. But there you go. Looks like we're building that anyway. So yeah, we are getting a full film with the old cast in it, with the new cast as well. And from the teaser trailers, it looks like it's focusing on Egon's family. Which is nice because obviously Harold Ramis no longer with us, but it seems that he is very, very much going to be a big part of this film, which I couldn't be happy about. I love Egon; he's a great character, and Ivo Shandor as well. If you look on the there's a sign when they go into the mining, or sort of when they go to the mine, that says Shandor Mining Company. So, which makes sense. He would have needed to have gotten the selenium from somewhere, right? So that's cool. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's got Pterodogs in it. I'm guessing Slimer's going to be in it at some point. I'm guessing he's in the trap. Do you know the trap that, is it Phoebe? I think Phoebe is her name. She finds the trap. And then when Paul Rudd's character holds it up, something comes out of it. There you go. That's where we are. Something comes out of that. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be Slimer, isn't it? I have a feeling that's going to be Slimer. We need two of these, and two of these ones. I hope it is. Anyway, enough speculation about a film that we know nothing about yet, because we don't. I'm happy just to relax until November the 19th, because apparently that's when it's coming out. Happy to relax until then and go find out what happens, you know, like in the old days. Speaking of the old days, how did I come to be I was going to say Transformers fan. How did I come to be a Ghostbusters fan? Well, when I was a nipper, I remember watching programmes on telly like Screen Test, which was a young person's film quiz on the BBC with Mark Curry, I believe it was at that point, off Blue Peter. And they would show sometimes sort of sneak previews or sneak scenes of films. And the sneak film preview scene thing that they showed on the one I watched, on that, I want to say December, it's got to be something like December or wintry night. 2 seconds while I just line this up. 1, 2. Let's go on there, like that, right? I think that's right. Yeah, on this, I want to say December-y, wintry night. It was Ghostbusters, and it was a specific scene, and it's a scene we've all seen a million times before, and it was a scene that they always showed for this, and it was Peter getting slimed. With him going, "I think he can hear you, Ray." And Slimer, or Onionhead, Mr. Onionhead as we knew him back at that point, we didn't know he was called Slimer because the real Ghostbusters hadn't happened yet. He slimes Peter. Which apparently, if you watch a few documentaries about it, was part of the trade-off for Bill Murray not getting covered in marshmallow at the end of the film. He said, "I'll get slimed or I'll get marshmallowed. I won't get both. So if you want me to do this scene, I don't get covered with marshmallow at the end of the film." And that's exactly what happened. He didn't get covered with marshmallow at the end of the film. Walter Peck did though. Because, yeah. And that nearly killed him, apparently, William Atherton. Because they didn't realise, they thought, well, it's shaving foam. You know when Walter Peck gets slimed or marshmallowed at the end of the film? And he gets completely covered in it, of course he does. And it's his major comeuppance, isn't it, at the end of the day? Well, they didn't realise, or they didn't think, that dropping lots of something on someone, even if it's very light, was going to be heavy, but they forgot about a little thing called terminal velocity. So basically things sort of become the same weight when they fall, I think is the science. I'm not a scientist, but I think because of gravity, things attain the same weight when they fall, no matter how heavy they are in normality. So yeah, it nearly killed him. There we are, look, we built this bit, there's still loads to go in this bag. But yes, I remember very vividly watching Screen Test and being, "Oh, what's this now? This looks good." And I must have been about, what, 6 or 7 years old? I wasn't that old. And of course, that film was not for children at all. It's an adult film, very much an adult film. But I guess it's one of those things, it's like any cartoon, like Watership, it's a Watership Down situation. Where, oh well, it's a cartoon, it's for kids, and you know, Watership Down is very much not for children. Absolutely it isn't. Sorry, just working out where this goes, there we go. Yeah, Watership Down very much not a film for children. Mainly because there's a seagull in it that goes, "Piss off!" Which I always found hilarious as a kid, you know. But, you know, there's all the gore as well. And Ghostbusters, similarly, not a film for kids. I remember it. Now, people in the UK can maybe help me with this one, because I always remember it being a 15 when I was a kid. And that was the reason I couldn't watch it on video or something, because it was a 15 and my parents wouldn't let me watch a 15 video when I was, what, 10. And then all of a sudden it became a PG. I could be wrong on this. I could be very, very wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm sure it was. But anyway, so yeah, Screen Test showed it and I was like, oh, what's this? I actually saw the real Ghostbusters before I saw the film Ghostbusters, because they did show a couple of episodes of Real Ghostbusters on CITV before they showed the film. Now, they showed the film when I was 11 in 1987. It was Boxing Day. I remember it being a Boxing Day. I remember being very excited because they announced it quite early on in the schedules that they were going to show this on Boxing Day ITV 1987, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this needs to happen. And I was very excited because I was an impressionable child and a bit of a nerd. So I waited all that sort of winter time, sort of pre-Christmas, and I got a really good present that year as well. I got a ZX Spectrum computer for my main present. It was a very good present. I loved it a lot. But the real present came on Boxing Day. There you go. Look, that's all on now. And that was Ghostbusters. And it was the TV version. It was the airline version, I guess you would say that it is. And it was awesome. I didn't care that they bleeped swear words. I didn't bleep them out because they would just cut them. I didn't care. I didn't mind. I loved this, and I wanted to be a Ghostbuster. And of course, you're crestfallen when you realise that, you know, it's all pseudoscience. It's all fiction. It doesn't exist. None of it does. I mean, the nuclear accelerators do, but not in that size and not on your back, certainly. And mainly, there's no such thing as ghosts. That's the worst bit. When you realise, yeah, there's no such thing as ghosts. But you want there to be. I would love that. I am very much of the opinion that there is no such thing as ghosts, right? I would love there to be. Mainly so I could be a Ghostbuster. Whoops. Ugh, this is annoying. Sometimes you get fiddly bits, so I do apologise. I will try not to swear. Now then. Why is that not going in? Oh, I see that. It's one of those things where you knock one bit out and then it knocks another bit out and then it knocks another bit out as well. But yes, I am very much of the opinion that ghosts do not exist. And that will always upset and disturb Dr. Venkman, because I want there to be ghosts, because if there's ghosts, then I could finally be a Ghostbuster, and that would be excellent. I think actually that was one of the ideas for a film at one point as well, is that I think they weren't supposed to be the only Ghostbusters in the world. I think they were supposed to be part of a franchise. And that was always the idea of Dan Aykroyd, is that there were going to be Ghostbusters all over the world, and they were all going to be busting ghosts at roughly the same time. And this is just one of their stories. So like a cosmic police force almost. There we go, that's on. This is the wheel assembly, I'm guessing. The back wheels, I'm thinking this is. So I'm thinking that's the this bit here. I'm thinking is the trunk. And the hatchback door that comes down. But yes, December 1987 they showed it for the first time, and yeah, I was hooked. I got the video not long after and basically wore that out, and had friends who were into it as well, and you know, we hung out together and we got Ghostbusters toys, and yes, I was 11, I don't care. I still play with Ghostbusters toys. You're watching it. And one of the most important things, like I said before, I'd got the ZX Spectrum as a Christmas present. What I also got was loads of Spectrum games on tape. And one of those games on tape was the 1984 Activision game of Ghostbusters. And oh my word, I played that thing to death. Again, I played it until it snapped, basically. It broke because of me, but you know, no regrets. It was an awesome game. So where are we? We're here. Is that it? Yeah. These bits go in here. You will see. It's one of those things where I will always stick up for that game, because if you finish watching this video and go on YouTube, you will find a million videos decrying that game, saying it's a load of rubbish, it's pointless, it's rubbish, mainly because the angry video game nerd said it. I'm not going to lie. That tends to be the way it is on the internet, doesn't it? But yeah, you'll see a lot of videos saying it's a rubbish game. I've never had any fun playing it. I mean, for one thing, you probably played the NES version, so that's more likely why you had no fun playing it. It's no fun to play the NES. It's hard, it's difficult, it goes nowhere, nothing happens. And I'm like, well, it's not strictly true. When I was a kid, it was basically a case of you're a Ghostbuster. Who cares? If you if you're searching around the city looking for ghosts, that's what Ghostbusters do. Why would that ever be a problem for you? Oh, I think I might have made an error here. Yes, I have. What you need to do is need to get this bit first and need to put that in the middle, like so, and then the other things work around it. There you go. Read the instructions, Glenn. There we are. But yeah, you're a Ghostbuster. You're going around busting ghosts. I've got the Master System version. I've played it on this channel. And I bloody love that game. I really, really enjoy playing that game. Just like I did when I was a kid. I don't care that it took 10 minutes to load and you got very little out of it at the end. It was a fun game. And like I say, most importantly, you were a Ghostbuster. And that's all I really wanted to be. I mean, those characters are fantastic. You grow up and you realise that there's actually a very different dynamic going on as well. And that your favourite character sometimes changes. Because I was all about Venkman, and I still am about Venkman. I still like Venkman as a character. But he is a sleazy individual. Even more so as an adult than he is when you're a kid. When you're a kid, he's just a smart talking wise ass. When you grow up, he's borderline rapist. He's basically a date rapist. With Jennifer. Is it Jennifer at the start of the film? I know she's played by Jennifer Runyon. There you go. But yeah, he's not a nice guy. He's not a good guy at all. And then a lot of the stuff that the Dean said about science being a dodge or a hustle to him is completely and utterly right. And you also, if you read the novels, which I did, here you go, that's where we are at the moment, it's taking shape, innit? It's not just a pile of Lego. If you read the novel, then you basically find out that he's used Egon all his academic life, basically. And that poor Egon has been duped into doing all the work for Venkman, and Venkman hasn't got a clue what he's doing. He really is a poor scientist, because he, frankly, isn't a scientist. He's just some bloke who's wandered in. Egon's done all the work for him. He's called himself a doctor when he actually isn't one. Of course, these days he'd be rewarded with his own TV show, which indeed he is in Ghostbusters 2. But I guess it's one of those things where that character could have gone very, very wrong if played by a different person. When played by Bill Murray, it works. But if he'd been played by, say, Chevy Chase, he would be a much darker character than he actually is. But when I was a kid, yeah, I was all about Venkman. He was my favourite character. No one will tell me any different. These days, I think it's actually Egon or Ray is my favourite character. Ray being really just a nice guy, and they really did play him right in that film. Dan Aykroyd was absolutely the right person to play him. What do we want? One of these. We need one of them. Two of them, sorry. One of these. Two of them. Oh, here we go. We're getting there, peeps. We really are. There we are. But yeah, Ray's one of my favourite characters now. You also find out in the book, when you read the book, that the reason that in the firehouse scene where Egon's basically going, this is it's in a demilitarised zone, I think this building should be condemned, all that stuff. All that gubbins is because they're trying to, when you're a kid you don't realise this, but they're trying to get the price down on the firehouse. They want it, but they're trying to get the price down. And what should happen? Ray comes along and goes, oh, it's amazing. I want this place. This is great. This, yeah, we should stay here tonight. And the problem is, it's Ray's money. So they can't say, shut up, Ray. So he basically just drops him in hot water. Because I do remember some people when I was a kid who'd say, oh, they don't really want it, but they have to take it because Ray likes it so much. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not the reading I get from it as an adult, basically. Okie dokie, where are we? So, this bit here, I think. Right at the front, is it? Yeah, there we go. I think that might be your steering. This bit here. Let's just see if you guys can see it. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I think that is my reading of that scene when I'm an adult. But yeah, Ray's a great character. And Winston as well. I always had a lot of time for Winston in the films and the TV show because he's us. He's the normal person going into this madness that is the Ghostbusters. And going, what in fact is actually going on here? Now then. Yeah, no, that's right. Although, oh, I see, you've got to connect it up. There you go. No, that's not right. Do excuse me 1 second if you would. I'm just trying to work out if what I've done here is right. No, it isn't. There you go. That'll be right then. I again have messed up, so I now have to take pieces off. Again, Glenn. Kindly. But that's alright. Yes, Winston. Do like Winston a lot. He's another of my favourite characters, especially in the show, because they did quite a good job with Winston in the show and making him a more relatable, believable character than maybe he was in the movies. Because obviously, I think we're all aware at this point that he was supposed to have been Eddie Murphy, played by Eddie Murphy, but he was doing Beverly Hills Cop, so couldn't do it. And so that, yeah, just didn't work out, which is a shame. And so Ernie Hudson came in and he became Winston. He was, you know, he was Winston at the end of the day. I bloody love that character. Like I say, in the show, for the longest time, he you know, he didn't do anything. He didn't do much. And this was explained away as him being a normal, just you know, a normal guy, as it were, even if you want to say that. He was us. He was our way into the Ghostbusters. And J. Michael Straczynski did such a good job in making you believe that Winston wanted more, wanted something else out of life than what he'd been sort of tasked with, which is there we go, that's better. There you go. Now it works. Like I say, Glenn, mind on the task, innit? Wanting more out of life, wanting to be a Ghostbuster properly, and wanting to be one of them and become a scientist. And that's exactly what he did. He became a scientist. He got his degree and whatnot and all that jazz. And then that company came in, and I forget its name. I refuse to learn it because, you know, they're assholes. And they went, no, we don't want Winston doing that. He fixes the car. He's a mechanic. That's what Winston does. Not good. That's what kids want, though, isn't it? They just want a black guy fixing the car. They don't want him getting degrees and making something of himself and bettering himself. Kids don't want that. And they want Janine to be a mom. There you go, that's the other one. Seriously, Fayless does a really good critique of the Ghostbusters series, where he rips that company. And I forget their name, but they were like a PR company. And they just ruined the real Ghostbusters. The kids want Slimer, you see. That's what kids want. They don't want interesting stories about Ghostbusters, they just want Slimer. And that's why J. Michael Straczynski left Ghostbusters and I guess created Babylon 5, I guess. Is that what it's called, Babylon 5? I never watched it. I know lots of people who did, but I never watched it. Anyway, here we go. That bit there. And then you get these bits. I've done it again, haven't I? That's alright. Counted it wrong. There you go. There we are. Oh. Get through. Murder on the old fingers is Lego, isn't it? When you're an adult, when you're a kid, you just scratch your fingers willy-nilly, don't care. When you're an adult, this'll lay me down for a few weeks. Ibuprofen is your friend. But yeah, that's basically my sort of how I came across Ghostbusters first. And yeah, just had the best time as a kid playing it and watching it, and then you realise that ITV barely showed any of the Ghostbusters show at all. I think they showed the first 2 seasons, if that. And we have never, to this day, got a decent DVD version of the real Ghostbusters at all. Just didn't happen. We got a little bit here and there, and then that was basically it. We got a season 1 vanilla release, and very vanilla it was as well. No special features, nothing interesting, just the episodes, play, and that's it. Play and pause. They did bring out a massive fire hall set. I think that was Shout Factory did that. I do know people who got it. And it is supposedly brilliant, but it's super expensive if you want it. There you go. So we need 2 of these. And the blue one of that. And where did that go? 1 in. So yeah, that's super expensive if you want that. Like I say, I know a couple of people who, they certainly had it. I don't know if they got it now, but they certainly had it. And apparently it's brilliant. Had loads of good interviews with Joe Michael and Larry DiTilio, I think was one of the creative minds. One of the guys who did She-Ra, basically created the character of She-Ra in the cartoon. And Beast Wars as well. They did Beast Wars. So we need 2 of these. And 2 of these. And these fit in here. Like so. And where do they go? Oh, I see. So in this hole here. Like so. And how do they go? Top up. Oh, these are tight. I don't remember these sort of connectors being this tight when I was a kid. Maybe it's because they're adult and they've got to be sturdy, I guess. So they made them a little bit tight to go in. Oh. Well, what I don't want to do is break it. Because, you know, this costs a lot of money. There we are. So that's that bit. I'm not put that to one side. So you've got these 2 bits of gubbins here. This, and there's another one there. I'm still frightened I've missed bits, you know, because the bag split. But I think I've got everything, so I'm hopeful. So, goes in there. Oh. Plus it's fiddly. And I basically have sausages for hands. So sausages with ham in the middle. Yeah, that's that one. So yeah, that's basically my history with Ghostbusters. But like I say, we went a long time without anything. Oh no, what have I done? Have I done this the wrong bloody way around? I haven't all. I've done it the wrong way around, guys. That's alright. It's not a problem. I can soon sort that out. There we go. Ah, oh, so annoyed. What a wally. What an absolute Burke I am. But that's fine. This is what you got this for. What you're seeing, I've done it on purpose, guys. That's what I've done. Done it on purpose so that you can see how not to do this. Ugh. Oops. And how to use this tool correctly. Although, frankly, there we go. Ugh. Idiot. I mean, really. Not exactly a great advert for it, is it? Now then, where does that go? So that bit goes there. And okay, so these bits need to be here. And it goes in that way. Not a great advert for it. Lego aren't going to be calling on my door and going, Glenn, we'd very much like you to be a brand ambassador. I don't think that's going to happen, do you? But it's fine. We're having fun building stuff. And, you know, I'll learn not to do it again. I'll totally do it again. Ooh. This thing is coming in very useful though, isn't it? So that's a good thing. Here we go. Oh, that one went in a bit easier. So there we go. And then this bit goes on here, I think. No, it doesn't. What have I done? No, I think that's right. I must go in here then. There. Yeah. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? Okay. Sorry for the radio silence, I'm just trying to work out what I've done. I think I know what I've done. I've basically just put everything in the wrong bloody place, like an idiot would, you know? Yeah. So I've been talking along, yakking about, not taking any notice, and yeah. Now I'm paying the price with my fingers. There you go. I refuse to edit this out as well. This is the thing. I am flat out refusing to edit this out. Not happening. You must learn. Me and you. There we go. And then that goes on there like so. There we go. There we are. Perfect. Now it's done. Now we're doing it. Right, so these need to go like that. With this bit there. And that bit there. And then this apparatus goes under here like so. Like that. I hope. I mean, it's been uneventful apart from that bit, right? It's been not so bad. Dear me. Right, okay. On the home front now. On the home stretch we are. So 2 of those, 1 of those. So yeah, I then went to university in the 90s and not forgotten about Ghostbusters, but it wasn't a bigger part of my life as it had been as a kid because it wasn't on. You know, when something isn't on, oh, I know why. Something isn't on and you're not watching it, it's not in the public eye anymore, it kind of goes quiet like Star Wars did. They did exactly the same thing. Although in the 90s they were actually trying to do Star Wars stuff, weren't they? And that was coming back. Ghostbusters, yes, certainly seem to have not much interest in Ghostbusters anymore. I always thought that was a shame. So this bit went on with no problems, and now this goes on here. Like so. Oh, I see. Yeah, like that. Do they fix? Yes, they do. They fix on them. Oh, that goes in really easy. That's good. So it's all part of the steering. Can you see? Can you see? It's all part of the steering mechanism. Very cool. So yeah, Ghostbusters just wasn't a part of my life anymore because at the end of the day, they weren't making no Ghostbuster stuff anymore. I think Doctor Who had sort of tried to come back as well, so you had all this nerdy stuff trying to come back, but it was then seen as nerdy stuff. And people didn't want anything to do with it. Right, let me just, like so, like so. I'm just making sure that this goes through properly. The 3 at the bottom there. And there we go. That bit. And this bit. And it does go that way. It shows it in the picture. And goes in like so. So yeah, nerdy stuff was trying to make a comeback, but it was seen as tragically nerdy stuff, which is a shame because, you know, I mean it is, but you know, it's fine. Nerdy stuff is good. And then one day I was watching telly, and I didn't have lectures that day, so it was children's telly, of course. And I come across this thing called Extreme Ghostbusters, and I'm thinking, what on earth is this? Is this real? Is this actual? And it turns out it very much was. And that, yeah, Ghostbusters was back, kind of, in a weird form. And Extreme Ghostbusters is a really odd thing, because it kind of doesn't... It's a continuation, but not. So it continues on from the Ghostbusters. They've all quit and moved on with their lives, apart from Egon, who still lives in the firehouse and still looks into ghosts and ghost trapping and all that kind of gubbins. So 2 of them, and they go where? Oh, in here, I see. They slide in here. Oh, there you go. Like so. Like that. I need a pointer, don't I? The problem with me doing it like this and forcing is that I don't want to force it too hard in case everything comes apart in my hand and then I'll have to swear a lot. There you go. That's all in like so, and then we've got 2 of these. I think we're pretty much done. And they go, let's just, yeah, they go into the next one along. And fix everything down like so. Oh, look, there we go. There we are, like so. And I think that is it for bag number 1. That is it for bag number 1. We do have spare bits, because we always have spare bits. I might get a mug or something and just put those spare bits in with that. But there we go. We have the base of the ECTO-1. That wasn't so much of a chore now, was it? I think it was. Especially when I had to redo lots of stuff because I'm a dingus. But there you go. Well, that's part 1 done. There will be more parts, so please do stick with me on this. We'll intersperse it with video game stuff as well, I am sure. But in the meantime, do take care of yourselves and each other. And don't be afraid of no ghosts. Bye-bye for now.